Hi, Assalamualaikum. So today we are going to present the case study of Keramat Tahfiz School Fire. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce each one of our group member. The first one is Muhammad Farid Shakir bin Salahuddin 192867. Second, Muhammad Azamuddin bin Ahmad 194763. Third, Muhammad Nur Fikri bin Muhammad Nur 194302. 4. Nur Nadia binti Abdul Samad 193134. And the last one, Sri binti Mat Zaini 194299. Oh yeah, let's get started with videos of Keramat Tahfiz School Fire Incident. Let's go.
Tak sudah saya. Mantap. Macam mana Kak Su dah nampak ada orang? Kak Su dah nampak ada orang lagi. Ya Allah.
And here we are about our case study in Keramat Tahfiz School Fire, about Keramat Tahfiz School Fire. So I will start about a brief about the case. Tahfiz Fire in Kuala Lumpur. The nation was struck in 14 September 2017 with news that a deadly fire broke out at the religious school, which is Pusat Tahfiz Darul Quran Ittifaqiyah in Keramat, Kuala Lumpur. The blaze claimed 23 people's lives, including students and teachers. So, what happened in there? There is a fire broke out at the Pusat Tahfiz Darul Quran Ittifaqiyah around 5:10 a.m., which is in Subuh. It was misunderstood among Tahfiz students and some teenagers at the same place before the incident happened. They were taking drugs and being advised by the Tahfiz students, but they took the advice wrongly, and they took revenge on Tahfiz students by burning the buildings. There was a misunderstanding because the Tahfiz students are advised them for their good, but they are refused to listen about the advice, and being they feel shame and feel very angry to Tahfiz student, and they decided to burn all the buildings. So what caused of the fire? So there were 7 teenagers that involved in burning the Tahfiz buildings. They stole 2 gas tanks from shops nearby and put on the mattress in the Tahfiz building, and then they leaked the gas tank and put some petrol, and then the Tahfiz building started to burn. They used some fire starter lighter to be specific, and they burned the mattress, which is in petrol and gas. So the fire, after that, this fire spread very quickly and burned out the whole buildings quite quickly. So the buildings are fire too fast, and then all the surrounding of the buildings are being fired. So what about the tragedy? It is understood that the students and teachers were asleep when the blaze happened. There were one-way exit door without any emergency door in this tragedy, and also the windows were fitted with grills, which is the hostel. So, however, several of students managed to escape after breaking a window at the 3rd floor and jumping over to the 1st floor awning. So, this is the issue that the building is not required the safety the safety of a building. So there just one way exit and one way out. So there are no fire emergency exit for the buildings. This is the issue because of the safety requirement is not completed. There's a lot of death caused because of that. Because the fire normally when a fire happen, we can escape through the emergency door, but these buildings in Tafis, which is built by some architects and some contractor, which is not have the safety requirement, and also there there were no fire extinguisher at all. So this is the real issue that we be um, that will be told by the netizens about the case. So there were 7 suspects in this case, and they were found positive in drugs. All of them are positive in drug because there are consumed drugs at the playground usually, which is not good for them because they are young, and one of them is 12 years old, and they are consuming drugs. So what is the effect of the case? The effect is this tragedy affects many people to their life, especially the family members of the victims. Some of them were haunted dreams and traumas about tragedy. We can see there's a lot of them will get traumas, especially the family members, because they have nightmare about their sons and their sons, their family. So especially their parents are having some traumas and PTSD. So therefore, the Persatuan Jururawat Sukarelawan Malaysia, which is MVNA, provided counseling, treatment, and also psychology first aid to those who have traumas because of the tragedy. So there is some efforts being efforts from Persatuan Jururawat Sukarelawan Malaysia, which is they are provided counseling treatment for those who were affected in this case mentally. So they are helping them to gain their energy and gain their normal emotion, because some of them are having bad traumas. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, without further ado, I would like to explain about the effect for this case, which is Pusat Keramat Tahfiz fire. Well, as we know, the fire that has happened at Pusat Keramat Tahfiz has affected many people around there, especially their victim and their family members. For the victim, of course, this crisis event that has happened has give a bad effect to them, especially their psychological and their physical. The survivor victim has lost their basic needs such as place to learn about religious, their clothes, and their school equipment. For the teacher at Pusat Keramat Tahfiz, they have lost the source for the income as the Pusat Keramat Tahfiz was completely damaged. Besides, all important files and documents about the students and the school was completely destroyed. So, victims and teachers at Pusat Keramat Tahfiz need to find alternative to recover what they had lost. Even though there was a victim that had survived from this fire, they still gain damage, especially their physical. Their part of the body was burned in half, and some of them can't even walk properly. Because of this damage, they could not do their routine life, cannot go to school, and was warded at hospital for a long time. So, they need a serious treatment for their physical and mental support so that they can encourage themselves to stay calm while recover from this damage. Because of this tragedy, a lot of community property around Pusat Tafiz was damaged, especially building and road. The road around Pusat Tafiz need to close for a few days to clear the building damage of Pusat Tafiz. It was difficult to the community, especially if they need to use the road urgently. For the people who stay near at Pusat Keramat Tafiz, their house was still damaged and need to rebuild. It has been stated that Pusat Keramat Tafiz was lack of security. Besides, Pusat Keramat Tafiz did not have permit to open school and provide education for the community. Star newspaper has reported that Pusat Keramat Tafiz did not have smoke detector, fire escape plan, alternative door for emergency, and explanation about the emergency case. So, this is why many people or community, especially parents, feel worried to send their children to any Pusat Tafiz to learn about religious. Although other Pusat Tafiz has security and escape plan if the emergency situation happen. This is because they assume that other Pusat Tafiz may have not permitted security, especially for the emergency case. Thus, the party responsible need to play their role to strict security rules to any Pusat Tafiz so that the negative view from the community can be erased. It has been reported in Berita Harian Online that 31 students and 2 wardens' dead bodies was found at Pusat Keramat Tafiz after fire that has happened at there. 9 of the dead body was completely burned. However, according to Dr. Nurliza Abdullah, the forensic, she has reported that 9 dead body was died due to inhaling the smoke caused by the fire. Family victims and community was shocked with this tragedy and their death. It caused sadness especially to the victims' family. Some of them was depressed and cannot accept the death. So, they need support from others to convince them so that they will not continue to feel sadness and distress.
Hi guys, so I'm going to proceed to the last effect, which is emotionally and psychologically. They will have a PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. What is actually PTSD? PTSD is the psychiatric disorder that occur to the people who have experienced or witnessed any kind of traumatic events such as natural disaster, war, rape, and many more. As there are a few students and teachers that survived from this fire disaster, they might have suffered for PTSD now. This fire disaster has been described as the country's worst fire disaster in 20 years. So this really affect the family, the children, and everybody who has family connection with this victim. So, how can we know that they are having a PTSD? What are the symptoms of PTSD? Okay, the first one is the intrusive thoughts. What is intrusive thought? It's involuntary memories, distressing dreams, and flashback. That means that they remember the thought of the event. Secondly, they are avoiding reminders. They avoid people, they avoid things, they avoid event that has related to the memory of that traumatic event. The third one is negative thought and feelings. They are going to have this ongoing belief about oneself or others. That means they feel like, I'm too bad. Why why I can't save them. They have fear in their heart. Number 4, or the final one, is they have arousal and reactive symptom, where they have the irritable and angry outbursts. They have some problem in concentrating, or they have problem in their sleeping patterns, and or maybe they can't sleep. So based on my research, Suraya 2017 reported that there is a boy that was injured from this accident, was awake at midnight and suddenly want to run away from the bed because of traumatic. His mother said he had a bad dream about the burning at Pusat Tafiz. Can you guys see that they are having a PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder? They're having the first symptom, which is they have the involuntary memory that come to their mind. There is another research that states Hayati 2017 reported that the victim's brother felt very sad and blamed his mother for sending victim to Pusat Tafiz, which is their family is having a negative thought and feelings, symptoms of PTSD, which is they have this ongoing belief about oneself or others. They believe that they are bad, why this happened, and they have this irrational belief. So many victims in this Pusat Tafiz fire disaster did not die during the incident, so they need recovery emotionally from the psychiatrist. So we can see that the psychologically effect is very, very have a deep effect to a person, or maybe a family of the person.
In this Tafiz crisis, there are few groups of people that was provided by PFA. As simple as look, listen, and link, this is how to provide PFA to them right after the crisis. Start with Tafiz student group. This is the first group who affected the most due to this crisis. They must be afraid, trauma, sad, and clueless on reason why it happened. Here are the ways on how PFA can be provided to them. First of all, the one who provided PFA must approach them calmly and politely. The kids was already afraid, please don't make the situation worse. Then look at the surrounding. If the place will bring harm to them, please bring them to the safe place. Observe what they need. It can be medical if they hurt, and give them at least water to make them feel calm. Separate them away from society who busybody to take picture, videos, and ask unnecessary things which can lead them to stress. Talk to them calmly, but please make sure don't push them. Avoid from making them pressure. If they want to share, just be a good listener to them. Be a good listener, and please don't judge their action. Please answer their question if they ask, and make sure they are not alone. Gather them together. Next is encourage them to contact their family or closest friend. Last but not least, after few weeks since the crisis, link them to professionals such as counselor and psychiatrist if it is needed. Then, continue with their host or family. To provide PFA to them, first of all, it must be approach them calmly and politely. Of course, they will automatically worry right after they know what happened to their family members. Help them to comfort and help them to calm. Observe what they need, maybe medical for those who cry a lot till breathless. At least give them water to help them calm. If they express what they feel, listen to them. Don't pressure them and don't judge whatever they said, and please don't push them to talk. If they want to talk, they will talk. Next, give them information about what happened and any information that will help them. Try to talk with them calmly and answer their question. They may lose control of their self over their feelings. They might be careless, so that protect them from further harm such as self-injury or doing anything that can be harm to them. Next, persuade them to stay connected with their closest friends or family. Last but not least, after a period of time, if they're still not okay, link them to professional help such as counselor, psychiatry if there's needed.
The third point is how we can apply PFA to Tafiz management or their teacher, which is Ustad at the Tafiz. As we know, they also involved with the tragedy. In this situation, they also have trauma and very sad because many students was died and also 2 teachers include it. As a counselor, the way to give PFA for them, same like Nadia said before this, which is look, listen and link. Firstly, we must approach them calmly and friendly. They also afraid and worry because they responsible to take care of the student and make sure the student study safely at the Tafiz. Second, we also must see the surrounding. If the surrounding was safe, we can observe their need first. We also must separate them from community, which is I confident that community will blame Tafiz management in this tragedy. We also cannot pressure them and give them some time and today become relaxed and share their feeling. We must be a good listener and help them to solve the situation calmly. We also give them information about what the best action to do during the tragedy and help them to control the student's family. Lastly, for a few weeks, if they cannot control themselves and become stressed or depressed, please link them to professional counselor or psychiatrist to give them a session of counseling or guidance. So that is the way to apply PFA to students, peers and also Tafiz management and teacher, which is Ustad. Next, I'm sure the surviving student and teacher will have to deal with the serious trauma of the fire and so does the heirs. The Tafiz authority has been modified the infrastructure and the state of the Tafiz so that the trauma experienced by the heirs, student and teacher as well as the safe passage can be minimized. The remaining student will have been traumatized or will keep remember the traumatic event if the state of the Tafiz had not changed. In the meantime, I also hope the Tafiz will improve the security level and will prioritize safeness by providing enough fire extinguisher to prevent unwanted things from happening again. In addition, I just want to add some point, which is the role of the society or community in practicing this PFA. Now we know the world is at our fingertip. Social media is the easiest medium for us to disseminate news and info fast. In this regard, the public should stop spreading video about the Tafiz fire. This is because the heirs who lost their loved one will not be able to view this video repeatedly. Here I emphasize we need to educate the public that the heirs who lost their loved one should not see this. They cannot endure the sadness of the departure and therefore the pupil need to maintain the sensitivity in others to give them space and time to recover and be as comfortable as ever. Their emotion will disrupted when this video become viral on social media. The community needs to be catalyzed and encouraged to these heirs and teachers to come back strong and accept this incident openly as they truly need moral support, especially from pupils surrounding them. The community also need to encourage them to do community service so that the heirs and Tafiz management do not feel lonely and share their happiness, their happy moments together. The society also need to take care of this group so that they feel valued and begin to slowly recover. So that's all from us. Thank you.